T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Own it, own it, own it, Kong. I own it. It did.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
What is going on, you guys? Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. I am, of course, your editor-in-chief here, Dreon Santana. And I mean, the Soul Shakers are in the building. My tag partner, Nikki, the only dominating tag team in the Women's Wrestling Talk history. Here, once again, for the second week of Nikki Bella Says I Do. And this week we're catching dildos, we're doing strip teases, and we got some total divas, like alums, coming in on this episode. So I mean, like, you know, there's a lot that happened. Nikki, versus last week episode, I mean, we were just getting into trying to figure out what was going on with you know, I think his name. I feel like I just don't really.
Artem.
Yeah, Artem. Okay. AK or AR, whichever one.
AR.
You know, his family not able to come.
Right.
You know, and this week it seems like it's not any much difference, to be honest. Yeah. But let's go ahead and jump right in, because we can't spend too much time here. We got a lot of things we got to do here today. So we start off with the bridal, basically photo shoot of Nikki, Bella, and Bree, both, you know, in their photo shoot and everything like that. Nikki, this was really cute. I actually kind of like this look. You know, we don't see them with the long hair anymore because they're mothers now. So I guess when you become a mom, you go short. It's just something about, you know, it stays out the way. It's easier to maintain and stuff, and you don't really have nothing to worry about. So I mean, this is basically how we ended up opening up the show, I want to say. Nikki trying to figure out if, you know, her makeup artist is going to be coming to the bachelorette party, because I mean, this is the episode of the bachelorette party, and Bree is in charge. And well, we kind of know what happened with Bree's, you know, bachelorette party when it was time for her to get married. So I mean, she's in charge of everything. So I'm pretty sure we're really going to be going into Bree mode. I would have to say. But on the flip side, Artem is not really wanting to do too much for his bachelor party. Like, he already told his best man, I think it's, what is it? It's not Glenn, but it's Gleb or something. Like, I just know that it's like GLEB. Like,
I can't get his pronunciation.
Mm-hmm. Either. I feel like they never say his name anyway. So, but he's basically in charge of the bachelor party, and I was like, I don't want any, like, you know, strippers, that keep it real classy and stuff like that. And his friend G is having a really hard time trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do because he's not that kind of guy. You know, you don't really find too many guys like that who are not into the whole like, I don't want strippers to keep it classy. Let's just go, you know, hang out or something without, you know,
they were gonna go cooking.
Yeah, like let's
he
cook.
Doesn't drink. Like the friend was like, he doesn't drink or anything like that. So, that was very interesting to see that.
I was like, wow. Okay, then. Well, what the hell are y'all gonna do? But I guess we found out later on. So here the girls are headed to. They're basically discussing, of course, you know, preparing for the bachelorette party and stuff, which is going to take place in LA, of course. And like I said, Bree's in charge. We all know what happened with hers, you know, and we've seen Bree's antics lately too. We know how the girl gets when she's intoxicated.
Bree mode.
Very much Bree mode. She lives by that lifestyle. She honestly does. I don't even know what to say. But they're on their way to be exact to actually get Nikki a new dress. As you saw in the first episode, she planned to wear an old dress where she was going to get married in, but seems like she had a change of heart, you know. And they go to, you know, they go to this bridal shop. They try on various different dresses. She liked this one very much, and I think it actually looks good. And I think she needs a new dress. Like you're getting married to a new man, you know, and it'd be nice to have a new dress, you know, and not carry on a memory of something that didn't happen, you know. So I'm happy about that. But we get here because Nikki wants to basically perform a striptease, I have to say, in front of Artem at the bachelorette party. And, you know, her fiance is a professional dancer, and Nikki is definitely not. But she gets the help of a pole dancer who, you know, when wrestling, things are different. You know, your body changes when you're a wrestler, you know, and then you transition to being a mother. Your body changes. You can't do the certain things that you used to do anymore. And I mean, the pole dancers that I've seen have amazing upper body strength, and they do some amazing things that I don't think I would ever put myself in that position to do. But it looks really fun. I think it looks really cool to see them do that. And I mean, Nikki, she pretty much put herself in this position to want to show something, you know, a different side. She felt like Bree is going to laugh at her because like she's doing this in front of everybody and not just like in front of her fiance. You know, Nikki, would you ever do something like this?
Fuck no. Not in front of a lot of people. Like, that's disgusting. Like, we'll get into it more. But, like, girl, why in the hell was you doing, like, when she was breaking this down, it did not fathom in my mind that she would be doing this in front of other people. And
I didn't think so either. Like, I thought maybe it's going to be like a little private thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't think we was gonna get to that at all whatsoever, but we did. But this is the morning of the bachelorette party. Who do you know really have like a bachelor and bachelorette party together in the same house or facility when you know that there are things that are being prepared to go down? I don't know if I would ever have like a bachelor /rette party with the person I'm going to be getting married to. I just think that's just, I can't. I just feel like it's kind of weird. Like, well, not really weird, but it's kind of like.
It's very non-traditional.
Very much so. And it's kind of weird, you know, to see that happening. But this is the morning of, and everybody is basically arriving. The villas, they're arriving. Everybody else is arriving in and stuff like that. Ariane comes in and everything within the night. And everybody's having a great time. I mean, everybody pulls up. Everybody's got, you know, wine, champagne in their hand. Maybe he has a Sprite. And just really just like, and these are some y'all understand the struggle it is to try to find photos. Luckily, E News had me covered.
Yeah,
because
I know I saw Arian and I didn't see Lana.
she
Well,
came
CJ.
like she wasn't here for this. She came the
Okay.
next day like Natty did.
Okay. Yeah,
So
because they gave Nanny, a big.
they did like grand open, like.
But it seemed like when they were doing this, like right before this, Nikki was telling Brie like she didn't have a venue and she didn't like. How did what? what does that mean? You don't have a venue, and then I don't know. Would you expect your twin to be like held accountable or vice versa?
I mean, if I had one, then I kind of would, because I'm like, you're supposed to be here to help me. If you need to have, that's why you're here to be my backup plan or have something like a backup as well. If plan A doesn't fall through, plan B needs to come from you a little bit at least, but this is Nikki's wedding, not Brie. Brie already had hers. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I mean, you see here, everybody's having a good time, drinking, playing, I think, beer pong, different things like that, different games. Everybody's mixing and mingling and stuff. So this is really nice photos and stuff. You get to see the lovely couple enjoy themselves, a handful of the assets and everything like that as well. Look at the love. It is. That dress is really cute though, no lie. I like it. You're on mute, Nikki.
And the Cleopatra blunt is just
It's certainly. I just want them to get their part right because sometimes their part look a little shaky.
disgusting.
So we get here. Let me tell you something. Brie is really being the star of all of this. No lie, like it's like all eyes is this is Brie mode.
Look at Aaron.
Right, like having a good time over here with I think her other friend named Nicole too. That's the makeup artist. So I mean, everybody's here. The brother JJ is there as well. If you remember JJ, he's a little.
Ooh.
So, and this is pretty much the preparation, and Artem is pretty much looking for Nicole. He's like, "Where's Nicole? Where's Nicole? Where's Nicole?" Whole time, Nicole is getting ready to give a little partition for her man.
Yeah,
and
in the crowd,
amongst everybody, including JJ, who was just like, "Oh hell no," he was not feeling it, and Nikki, she did a really good job. If my man doesn't look like this when I perform in a certain type of way for him at whatever it is, we're canceling everything.
See, I was thinking more like Beyonce Dance for You, like, or Jocelyn's Cabaret, honey, like, let's get to it.
I mean, she was giving.
But this is E. So
this is E. So we got to get like a little bit of like.
I would have had Zeus.
I don't even listen. If this was Zeus Network, it'll be Nikki more than this that's showing.
Nikki says I do. All right. Welcome to Lazy Baby. I want to.
And then Johnson will be the one trying to hold it for her.
I want to ride. If you don't have Zeus, please get it. But no, I think they're overly in love, which is a good thing.
Yeah, because like you don't really like. I mean, the way that he was already nervous because he didn't know what the fuck was happening. He was like, hold on. I told y'all no. I didn't want no strippers. Like I wanted this to be real classy. You're gonna do this here. I don't even know where the fuck Nicole is. Like this man was starting to panic, but then he realized that it was his lady, giving him a striptease and show, and she did a really good job. No lie. She really did. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think, like I said, I would never do anything like wear something like this
in front of her brother though. It's
I'm not
just
like no. I
she
don't.
was in front of her brother.
Mm-hmm. I don't. I mean, and Bree was loving it, but Bree was also very intoxicated. Yes, sister, like she
Well,
was.
yeah,
Yeah,
we've seen
Miss Bree mode in all types of ways. I would have to say. Child.
Ooh.
Amen. But the night after, of course, they move on to, of course, a lot of the other different, before they get to all the other festivities and stuff like that they're going to be doing. Of course, after every hangover, they're in their 30s and stuff. You can't party the way you used to. And this is why they were all three of them all drifting there. What is it, IV?
She was stressed.
Very much so. But she was telling Nikki was telling Bree that she wanted her to fly out and like for 5 days in Paris because that's technically where the wedding is going to take place at is in Paris. And Nikki, she tells Bree that I need you to come out to fly with me to Paris for 5 days to continue to figure out some things with the wedding and stuff like that. And it seems as if like not and I kind of can agree with how Bree was feeling is the fact that it's not my wedding. I know you want your sister's like opinion, and we've always done things together and stuff like that. But I think that Nikki has an issue with a little bit of the detachment, like separation part from her sister because they've always done things together.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
I don't blame Nikki though.
You don't blame her for what?
Because that's just how I am. I like
look at Bree. She is
I understand both sides. Like I understand what Bree is saying, but girl, why are you complaining? That's how I feel. And like
this is the problem. Your man is right there.
I know, like I understand what she brought up, like she brought up Mateo and everything. Yeah. But girl, like
I mean, she's just saying, like, I'm a wife, I have my 2 kids.
Yeah.
So I have my husband, so I'm spending
but she's gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, she is. But it's just simple fact of like, this is your man. Look at the screen. This is your man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's here. It's not our wedding, it's your wedding. You know what I'm saying? And I think what Bree was trying to get into Nikki's head was the fact that this is not my wedding, Nikki's wedding, and your fiance's wedding.
Yeah.
This is y'all's 2 wedding. This is something that you guys are need to prepare and figure things out together. Not saying that I'm not going to be around to assist. It's just some fact of I feel like you always need me, and forget that the guy that you're marrying is right there, as well. But from Nikki's standpoint, like, bitch, you're my sister. I don't give a fuck. You're coming with me, no matter the hell. I don't care what it is.
Yeah,
he understands.
He does. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth because he does understand, and he's really understanding and good for Nikki. And I do think that she would pull it off without Bree, but without Bree, it's just no.
She needs that levelness.
No, I understood where she was coming from though, but she does need to start asking instead of being, demanding. Yeah.
Like, are you available to do? Because like you say, your sister, has her life as well.
Yeah.
I digress. So we get here because Natty arrives finally a day after all of the stuff that took place the night before. And Bree is having the discussion with Natty in regards to, Nikki and getting that, this is not her and our wedding, that and stuff like that. And I think that Natty's kind of sympathizing. She's kind of understanding. It's so nice to see Natty. Hello.
Yeah.
Like, This is like
It is.
Total Divas. All this,
Oh
it's
yeah,
array.
the camera angles, the
Very
shot,
much so. It's
everything. I also think she's empathizing with them too because Bree does bring up a good point. Like Natty's traveled with us, she's wrestled with us, she's been around with us for so long, even with filming a reality TV show, you know. So I don't know. It's I like the compromising in the conflict where no matter what, she's just expressing how Bree's just expressing how she feels.
Yeah, and I mean, you rather talk to someone who knows you and your sister very well and know that when it comes to certain things, sometimes you guys don't see the same things, even though you're twins, you know? And I mean, Natty's a very reasonable person, you know what I'm saying? I would say one of the easiest people to probably have a conversation with that's like neutral bound. It's not like she's going to side with anyone. It's like she's going to tell you how it is, type thing. And you know, you need those type of friends, especially when you're dealing with siblings who look alike at that. But yeah, some more photos of them having fun outside the house and everything. A lot of drinks. Bree is a master of catching dildos in the mouth. Artem's friend, well, best man tried to, and he failed tremendously. And honestly, truly, I think Bree just brought out games and she knew she could beat everybody in.
Yeah, she's hella competitive.
Very much so. And even the dildo, the penis pinata, basically, absolutely hilarious. I don't know what came out of it because I don't think they even got a chance to crack it open. If they did, I have actually no idea.
I had no idea he was this fit though.
Right?
So
he has
good.
a little dad bod, but it's like a fit
Yeah.
dad bod, you know. But they look really cute together. A lot of time together and everything like that. So we get here because he kind of walks off from everyone because he gets a phone call from his brother, basically talking about how there's an issue with them being able to get into Paris. They need a visa to get into Paris, but they can actually go to Turkey. And that seems as if like it's gonna take like 90 days for them to even get a visa to be able to enter in Paris, and they're getting married in like 2 weeks. So that's absolutely not possible to happen. So he thinks of an idea of maybe just bringing Mateo over to Turkey to meet his grandparents for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it just it sucks with the fact that, you know, this is the one thing that means so much to him that he's gonna have to compromise and figure out what way he can get his parents or family to be included somehow, some way. And you know, it's kind of heartbreaking a little bit with it because, you know, this is the only thing he's asking for, and he can't really get it, you know. So, and I don't think, you know, he doesn't want to move the. I mean, he already said that Nikki's family is kind of already set on Paris and stuff, and he doesn't really want to try to move everything over to like Turkey just so his parents can be there, family can be there and stuff. So he's really in a tough dilemma, to be honest, with this whole thing. I don't know, but it's tough to say.
Yeah, it is,
honestly. And then here, Nikki is talking. Well, she gets a phone call from her dad, who says that he's not going to even be able to make the wedding. But he supports her, you know, and everything like that along the way. And I know they even talked about, you know, JJ talking about how he, you know, has embraced Autumn and everything like that. And, you know, because we know how JJ is. He, you watched Total.
I honestly think JJ wanted her to go with Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
Like
very much so. He's a Dolph Ziggler guy. He's
definitely.
He loves.
He was not a John Cena guy.
Absolutely not. He hated that guy for various reasons. But Dolph Ziggler, yeah. Dolph Ziggler is like up here, you know. But I mean, it just wasn't, I guess, meant to be honest.
Yeah.
Everything, but she finds out that her dad is not going to be able to make the wedding. So it's a little. She's not sad about it, but it's kind of like, well, all right then. He supports her and everything like that, and that's a good thing, even though he can't, physically be there and stuff like that. And so we get here, and basically, Artem, of course, he's leaving because, he's trying to get the hell out of there. It's too many people. I'm just kidding. But they have a conversation in regards to his brother and family not being able to, be able to actually be at the wedding and stuff like that. And how he's basically going to take Mateo to Turkey to meet his grandparents. Yeah. Nikki felt a little, I wouldn't say left out, but a little like uncomfortable with the fact that her son is going to be going overseas to Turkey and she's not there. And it's kind of like, I know that I'm not, may not be around my son that much, but him going over to Turkey and I'm not there, like what happens, and things like that. And it's kind of like, I was like, she understands the significance of a grandchild meeting their grandparents and having their relationship. Yeah. And because she said she understands it. And I mean, who doesn't? I mean, there's a lot of people in this world that some people cannot have that relationship with their grandparents because either their grandparents are like deceased before they were born, or they just don't have any type of relationship with them. And a grandparent's love is a little different from the parents' love. Grandparents kind of let you get away with certain things that your parents won't. And then they're getting on your parents because, they're trying to, and all that good stuff there. So, I mean, it's saddening, but I think that once it happens and stuff, she will be okay. Because I know that when we go into the next episode, of course she's gonna be flying out to Paris, and Brie ass is gonna be there with her. And of course she drops him off at the airport, Autumn and Mateo off to the airport. She kind of like, she's a little overwhelmed and scared and nervous, and it's just how it is when you're a mom. I don't know the experience, but it's just kind of how I would feel if my child was like about to go overseas and I'm not there, and I don't, it's kind of weird, but and that's, I don't know, that's that, but yeah. That's pretty much how this episode ended and everything. What did you think about it, Nikki?
It was much better than the first, and I watched it twice, so I felt like I got more, And then Natty, I mean, come on, like.
No, you're not. You just got to be happy to see Natty.
Just got to be, and then it's only like 2 more episodes, right, or 3?
2 more. So we got episode 3 next. Well, this coming Thursday, and then the last episode we're gonna be at the wedding. Yeah. And I'm excited. I mean, it's heating up, leading up. I'm like, wow, I never want to say I've like been in a wedding before, or know what it's like to be a part of all the festivities of a preparing for a wedding, a bachelorette party, or a bachelor party, and all that. Because I want to go to both. Like, I want to be at the bachelorette and the bachelor party. Like, I want to spend, so I'm spending like, my time here, but I'm trying to see what y'all doing over here because I want to have fun at both places. I want to get my time's worth if I'm going to be a part of the wedding. So that's, and then, getting to the big part where, it honestly, truly, the most part, just feels as if like weddings are just a lot to deal with and go into, especially because things don't always go the way that you think it's going to go. And you just have to know that you have the right partner on your side that is willing to work through this and not be upset when things are not going the way it's supposed to and things like that, and everybody have a better understanding. That's how I look at it. So, but that pretty much brings us to the end of Nikki Bella, not Nikki Bougie, says I do.
Not yet. Lord.
Can you imagine?
No.
I told you it's gonna be a wrestling match at Nikki's wedding.
Absolutely not. We are doing Turnbuckle Glam literally in like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and push that at the moment.
Oh,
we're main event today.
We're for the main event.
There's a main event tonight.
Yeah, it's the first blood match happening, and we.
If you don't know, I'm trying to tell you, it's a main event. But yes,
very much so. We're gonna once we finish here, guys, just definitely hop on over to Turnbuckle Glam because we are not done here yet. But we want to thank you guys so much for watching. We'll pretty much run down everything else on Turnbuckle Glam because it's a lot happening tonight that we got to be for. But we thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will be back next Sunday for episode 3 of Nikki Bella Says I Do. That's about it. So turn back for Turnbuckle Glam because we got some things to talk about over there and everything like that. So we'll see you guys in about a couple of minutes. So bye, y'all.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.